Welcome, everyone, to Influential Leadership. I'm John Hadley.
And I'm Dave Miller.
So, Dave, what I wanted to talk about today was a point that I got from this article. It was an interview with the CEO of a company called Dado, Austin McCord. It's a data protection company. And he made a really interesting point here that I really liked. And I thought of an example where I got caught in this. They asked him, you're a first-time CEO of a fast-growing company. How have you stayed a step ahead of what the company needed? He said, by seeking out great advice and knowing when to ask for help. I know the signs and symptoms of when people are drowning. People just stop communicating, and they become more and more insular. So every month I ask myself, am I drowning? And I was thinking back.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was thinking back to a time where I didn't recognize something like this. I had an employee. He was a great employee. He was just a notch below my level. And what I didn't recognize was that we'd had a performance appraisal where I gave him just a really minor critique on something. I gave him a very good rating, but I made this one comment. And I didn't recognize that he took offense to it.
What was the comment you said?
It was just a comment on something he could improve about his universal life modeling.
Okay.
And his reaction was, well, if he doesn't like what I'm communicating to him about this, then I'm just going to stop. And so he stopped sharing as much information with me as he had before. And I didn't really notice the change. About 6 months later, we were in an officer's training program. And they'd had everyone fill out these not 360, but fill out a report on your boss. And the people who were leading it just handed us these handwritten forms that said, okay, your first job is compile these, and then we're going to review the results. Well, he's immediately starting to sweat because he knows that I'm going to know his handwriting. I'm going to know that this is his evaluation. But what it led to was we had a great conversation about this misunderstanding we'd had 6 months before, and we went forward fine. Mm-hmm. But it made me realize if I had been paying closer attention and noticed the change in communication, I could have headed that off earlier. So,
and it's really hard when the change in communication is more of the absence of communication.
Right.
So you have to really have your guard up, I guess, or your radar on to notice that.
Yeah, because
I'm the busy world we live in, right? So.
Right. I'm very likely to notice someone communicating more. But if I just am not getting as much, I may think, hey, the problems are getting solved. He doesn't need as much help. I might even see it as a positive that this person feels more confident where it might represent something completely different.
So you're saying don't assume when things are quiet that things are well necessarily. So.
Yeah. So what I was thinking would be a really good homework assignment for everyone who is listening is to go out, look at your team, examine how they are behaving, how they're communicating with you and others, and look particularly for any clues to, is this different? Is this a change in the way they've been operating in the past? And if so, think about maybe that's time to just get a little closer, have a little discussion about what's going on. Because particularly the one who's going quiet, it might indicate a problem. It might indicate that they are getting overwhelmed and they're underwater and they're afraid to communicate because they don't have time to communicate because they feel so overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm. It's a good tip. Yeah, that sounds good. In other words, leaders should always be checking in with their people, right?
Yeah. And looking for the reasons to check in, because it's natural to say, okay, we're going to have one-on-ones periodically and so on, but this is more of an active check-in that I'm saying, is there a reason maybe I should be checking in more often with this particular person because I've noticed a change in something?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's my tip for the week. So have a great week and look forward to talking to you next time.
And be influential.